Good evening. This is the Dairy News Network.
And tonight's top story, dairy farmers are making a big difference in our communities.
Now up to our field reporter, Raylene.
They make sure cows are healthy, well-fed, and comfortable because happy cows make great milk. I'm here with Farmer Kyle.
Howdy there.
Why are cows important?
We love our cows and we take good care of them, and they are important to us because they make us have good milk, yogurt, cheese, and ice cream.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raylene. That was insightful. Thanks to programs like Discover Dairy, kids can learn where their food really comes from.
And dairy farming supports our economy by creating jobs and local communities grow.
Thanks for watching the Dairy News Network.
Dairy farmers caring for cows, caring for us.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to MacGlaflin Farm Virtual Live Chat. I'm Brittany with Discover Dairy, and today is going to be so much fun. We have got Farmer Julie on standby. I can see all of you checking in and letting us know where you're from. Go ahead and use that space for some questions for Farmer Julie later today. And we've got three of the cutest calves on the planet, Amelia, Fern, and Ginger, ready for their close-up. This event is part of the Adopt a Cow program, where over 48,000 teachers and 2.1 million students joined us this year, all for free, thanks to our incredible supporters at the New England Dairy and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. And I know many of you are already excited for next year, so go ahead and mark your calendars for May 1st, because enrollment will be open for the next year's program. You can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt starting May 1st to get enrolled so you don't miss the fun. And because this is live, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and drop those questions. Tell us where you're joining from. I'm excited to give you all some shout outs and fill that chat with all kinds of energy. Speaking of that chat, let's see who is joining us so far today. So one of the first folks here, we've got someone from Barrington, New Hampshire. So hello, welcome all. Thanks so much for joining us. We have some folks from, let's see, Keene, New Hampshire. Hello, thanks so much for joining us. Let's see, we've got folks from Ellenstown, New Hampshire. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And some folks from Manchester, New Hampshire. Hello and good morning or good afternoon. We're so excited to have you. It looks like we've got some kindergartners and first graders in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire at Pittsburgh School. So hello and welcome all. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and keep letting us know where you're coming from in that chat. We are excited to see where you're tuning in from. Now, I am so excited to get this show on the road. So I want to welcome Farmer Julie. Hey, Farmer Julie, how's your day going today?
Hi, Brittany. My day is going great. How are you?
Good. We are so excited to be here with you, and it looks like the girls are already coming to hang out with you. We are just so thrilled to be joining you today. It looks like the sun is shining, and it's nice weather for a wonderful time with our calves and you. So first of all, we would love to hear a little bit about you and your role on the farm and a little bit about MacGlaflin Farm. So I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Brittany. So yes, I'm here with Ginger, one of our 3 adopted calves. So I am a 4th generation dairy farmer. Here, I have been at this farm for almost 11 years now. My husband and I met and I joined their farm. Before that, I had my own small farm over in Springfield, Vermont, right across the Connecticut River. I grew up on my parents' dairy farm, and before that, it was my grandfather's farm, and before that, it was his aunt. Today, I was actually thinking a lot about my grandfather because he used to brush our cows, and I was brushing all of the adopted calves today, getting them ready, and so that brought back some really great memories for me. So anyways, here at MacGlaflin Farm, we are members of the Agrimart Cooperative. So that means that our milk becomes all the delicious Cabot cheese products that you see and enjoy in the stores. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty good summation of who we are. One of the
I love
jobs that
that.
I really love here at the farm is to help take care of our new babies and their moms, because that's a really critical
Mm,
time for animals when they've just had a calf and are postpartum. And of course, it's a really critical time for the babies when they've just been born. So,
yeah.
anyways, that's one of my favorite jobs here.
Oh, that is awesome. So I know you let on a little secret. You mentioned that you like taking care of the moms and the babies, and I know everyone is super excited to get to see their girls today, but I think there's another surprise behind you. So maybe we'll introduce those surprises behind you, and then we'll jump and spend the rest of our time with the adopted calves, if that's okay with
Oh,
you.
that sounds like a great idea. I'm going to go right around here. So, 2 school years ago, we were also a host farm for the Discover Dairy Adopt a Cow program, and we had such a good time then. And so here, and they are much bigger, I have brought over the 3 adopted calves
Oh,
from when we were an adopt a cow farm 2 years ago. So,
oh
and
my
they
goodness.
obviously are very tired and sleepy today. So, everybody, this is Amita. Does everybody remember Amita? I know some people do. Now, the fun thing is, Amita is actually the mother of this year's adopted calf, Amelia. And for any of you who want to know, Amita now weighs 1,649 pounds,
Oh
and
my
she's
goodness.
58 inches tall. But even bigger news than that is she is pregnant, and her next baby, hopefully Amelia's little sister, is due August 6th. So we are
Oh,
very excited about that. So this is Amita taking a nap.
oh.
In the background, I won't even disturb her. The Jersey that's actually asleep, that is Celestial. And Celestial now weighs 1,098 pounds and is
Wow.
55 inches tall. And she is also pregnant. She is due October 30th. So if she's a little bit late, she might have a Halloween baby, which would be very cool.
Oh.
And then this is our Penelope. Hi, Penelope. Hi. Oh, she's going to get up there. You guys can see how big she is.
Oh
So,
boy.
Penelope, look how big she is. She weighs 1,531 pounds. She's
Wow.
60 inches tall, and she's also very pregnant. Oh, got to go potty. We all go potty, right? And she is due August 24th. So, anyways,
Oh.
I thought for any of you who adopted a calf from us 2 years ago, you would like to see that your
Yeah.
calves are now cows and are doing really, really well. So, anyways, there you
Oh,
go.
that is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We actually do have some folks who are saying in the chat with us that they had some of them. Let's see, we had someone say, "Hi, Amita." She was their first calf that they adopted. So, how awesome is that? And then we've got some folks saying, "Hi, Amelia's mom." They're excited to meet her in person
Yes.
too. So, how cool. Thank you so much for bringing them up. I know they are working
Yeah.
hard growing those babies inside of them. So, but it certainly was a nice little surprise getting to see them today.
Yeah. Well,
So
thank
thank you,
you.
Farmer Julie. Awesome. Well, speaking of some fun surprises, of course, we've got our adopted calves with us today. So if we want to head back over to them, get that camera on them, and get an update on how they're doing.
Yeah, they are doing great. So this here standing up, not taking a nap. This is Amelia. Again, this is the baby, Zamita's baby, and she has grown. So for all of you who are keeping track of their sizes, she's gained so much weight. She today actually weighed 606 pounds. So
Wow.
she is getting so big, and she's now 50 inches tall. So
Oh,
that is Amelia's update for today. Her birthday,
wow.
of course, is September 7th. So she is growing really well. Fern here, who I guess she's had a busy morning, she is resting. Um, she now weighs 575 pounds, and she is 47 inches tall.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
she's just
goodness.
chilling here.
She is cute. She really is just hanging out. She's like,
Yeah,
this is my
not
nap
bothering her a
time."
bit. Yeah. And then over here we have Ginger. And she has also been, they've all been growing so much. She weighs
Oh,
now 596 pounds and
wow.
is 52 inches tall. So
Oh,
even though she's a little bit lighter, she's always been the tallest of the adopted
tallest.
calves this
Yeah.
year. Yeah, a little bit lighter, but always tall.
Oh,
So it's going to be interesting to see how tall she is when she's an adult cow.
oh, that's awesome. We've got someone
Hi.
who's saying, "Can you say hi to Ginger for us?" So, of course, hello,
Hi,
Ginger. We're
Ginger.
excited to see you today. I cannot believe I was looking back at the heights and weights and stuff, and they were all, under 100 pounds when we first started. I can't believe they're,
Hmm.
over 600 and right under 600 pounds now in just a short, 7 months or so. It's
Hmm.
amazing how quickly they grow. And then, we just saw she's right next to you, some of the mature cows here or who are well over 1,500 pounds, which is incredible that they get to be so big. I'm curious how you, as farmer Julie, that sounds like a big animal to help, to even to handle or to maneuver with. Like, how do you, as farmers, work with an animal that big? Because it's not like you can just tell it to go somewhere or or move it somewhere. I mean, they have a mind of their own. So, what do you guys, as farmers, do to help with animal handling and have them do what you need them to do?
Yeah, well, that is a really good question. So yeah, most of them we can't call to them and have them come, although the one exception to that is generally a meetup because when people come and want to see her and I call her name, she does usually come to us. So we can call a meetup. But yes, most of them, and I'll show you here with Ginger, is if I am near their front end, they generally are staying still. They might back away from me. But if I get behind them and I start petting them or I kind of lightly tap them or kind of push them, it is natural for them to
Hmm,
walk away from me. So she's obviously not scared, but she knows I'm behind her and I need to
sure.
move her. And of course she's a long ways from being full grown, but this is a safe way how we
Hmm,
move the animals is if we want to move them back, we get in front of their front half of their body. If we want to move them away from us, we get behind them and kind of touch them, talk to them. Of course, she pretty much likes to be pet. She's not going to move very well, but most of them, that is how we handle them.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, that makes sense. So it's almost like a their flight zone almost or something, right? Is that what is
Yes.
something like that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Farmer Julie, what are they eating right now? I know we're in a special pen just for today, and this isn't where they're usually living either. So where do they
Right.
live and
Right.
what are they eating right now?
Sure. Let me show you some of the ingredients in their food. They are right now they eat what is called, and they for the remainder of their life they will eat this. They are eating a TMR, which is an
Mhm.
acronym for Total Mixed Ration, and it has lots of ingredients in it. I like to kind of compare it to making like chocolate chip cookies. You have
Hmm,
to have the right percentage of each ingredient to make the cookies come out right. So this
nice.
is one of the ingredients in their food, and this is a combination of lots of different types of grains. There's
Uh-huh.
a lot of protein in this. So this is one of the ingredients in their TMR.
Cool.
Okay, another ingredient is cornmeal. And if you think
Hmm,
about this from a human perspective, we have like cornbread, corn muffins. This is the same as how we would do that. So this is a really soft, fluffy. So this is some cornmeal that's in there.
hmm.
This is canola meal. So similar but different. See how they're all a
Interesting.
little bit different?
Yeah. All a
Yeah.
little bit, well, a little, just slightly different. Now you said canola oil
Yep.
or
Oh, you know what?
canola.
I did that wrong. That was the minerals that I just
Oh,
showed you. I'm sorry about that, Brittany. Oh, and
all
look
good.
who wants a treat. Amelia thinks she
She
needs a
says
treat of it.
she knows
This
that
is the
you've got some
canola.
food.
I'm sorry. The other one I
There we
showed you
go.
was the vitamins and
Oh,
minerals that they
gotcha.
get. Yes. What do you think?
Now, is
Do
that
you want
is
some?
that canola as in like byproducts from canola oils and stuff that we use as humans?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for
Oh,
asking. A way that I use it as far as people goes, if I am say making those chocolate chip cookies, I'm going to spray my cookie sheet with a
yeah.
non-stick cooking spray. That is the canola oil that the people
Hmm.
use. But instead of throwing away the rest of it, cows really are the ultimate recyclers, and
Wow,
they are actually eating the canola meal itself.
that's
Hi.
amazing. I love that.
And then a big percentage of their diet, this is a haylage. This is a fermented
Mm,
chopped hay. So that is in their
that
mix.
looks yummy.
It is. They love it. Smells good too. And then this is it. This is the corn silage. And so unlike us, where it's here, we're a little couple months away, but sweet corn season is coming.
Hmm.
We just eat the corn itself. But
Sure.
cows, they make use of so much of it. Oh, Amelia thinks she needs a snack. There you go. Um, Cows eat the husks, the stalks, the cob, and all of it gets broken down into these little tiny pieces that clearly Amelia loves. There you go.
So they
Good
can eat the
girl.
whole thing. That's
They eat the whole
crazy.
thing because it's fermented and stored here for long-term use. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's
Wow.
all the ingredients that goes into their food. So that is what the girls are eating right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you called it a TMR, a total mixed ration, and I'm
Yep.
curious, how on earth do you mix that? Because I think a KitchenAid is a little bit too small to mix enough food for all your cows. So how do you
Yeah,
go about mixing all that together?
yeah, that is very true. It is basically a giant KitchenAid. It is called a mixer wagon. It is a big, ours is red. It tows behind one of our tractors.
Hmm.
The ingredients get put in with a skid loader or a small payloader that we have.
Mhm.
And there's actually a scale on it that tells us exactly how many pounds we're putting in of each ingredient so that we get the right combination because these girls
Hmm.
are getting one combination, but the adopted calves from 2 years ago, they're getting a different combination because as
Sure.
growing young ones, these need a different combination of feed than these older girls that are pregnant. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes
so a big
sense.
mixer wagon. It's our own big fancy
Cool.
KitchenAid.
Oh, very cool. So we have a lot of great questions coming in, Farmer Julie, and I'm going to try and get through as many of these as we can. Thank you so much all for being so attentive and interested and wanting to learn more about your girls. We've got one good question here. It's specifically about Ginger, but it can be geared towards all of them. They're curious, does
Okay.
Ginger like to play? Or, how do you see cows play?
Oh, well, yes, they a lot of times they bounce around like you would think of kids like maybe running around on the playground. When she was younger in her group with her other calf friends, we have they are about the size of yoga balls, and sometimes the
Oh,
calves actually play with those. Generally, as they get older, they don't seem to. The playing that they do now is usually bouncing around together. They might kind of lightly push on each other a little bit. She's got a little itch there. Um, so that is how the calves play most of the time.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, a good question just about the farm in general. How many cows do you have on the farm? You could do milking cows and maybe total animals.
Sure. Right now we're milking right around 450 cows twice a day. So every morning at 2:30 a.m. and every afternoon at 2:30 p.m. If anybody wants to volunteer for that AM shift, you let me know. Um, and then we, of course, we have all the heifers like this. We have all of the young ones that are growing up. So we probably have over 800 animals on the farm in total.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of
Yeah.
animals to keep track of. Farmer Julie, how do you keep track of all of them? Is there anything that helps you keep track? That's a lot of animals to keep your eyes on.
Yes, yes, and thankfully, technology is a wonderful thing. We have two
Mhm.
computer programs. One of them keeps track of their numbers. It keeps track of who is whose baby, who is whose dad, that type
Oh
of
wow.
thing, and that keeps track of the records. Now, when they get like a vaccination to keep them healthy, anything like that gets recorded, so it is always a part of that cow's history.
Hmm.
Um, if we can look at one of the adopted calves from 2 years ago, we can probably look
Yeah.
at the jersey here. Look at the black and blue tag, the ear tag hanging from her ear.
Oh, it's really tiny,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Cool.
very light. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. It's just like I have earrings. It's like a pierced ear for her, like her ear tags. That is what's called an activity system. And
Hmm.
that is so, so helpful to us. It tells us, are they healthy? Are they eating and drinking the same amount as every other day? Are they as active as normal? Are they less active? So that can alert us in just a few hours if somebody doesn't feel quite right, if somebody's very excited and have a very exciting day. And so that is a huge asset to us. That shows up on my phone, that shows up on the computer in the barn. Um, and sometimes just a tiny bit of change in a cow's normal activity can alert us if they don't feel quite right, and then we can help them.
Wow. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much like a Fitbit for a cow. I mean, they,
Yes,
it
yes, it
even, I
is.
feel like it tells, how yours will tell you you haven't stood in a while, then, it kind of tells you that they haven't stood or moved in a
Hmm.
while to go check on them. Very cool.
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. So I've got an interesting question coming up. First of all, it's Bernard's school, and they just wanted to say hello to Amelia. So they're super excited to be adopting from Amelia. But they had a good question. They were wondering, how do you make other types of milk? So I know this doesn't happen on your farm, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The milk leaves your farm at the 3.8 or whatever it is percent milk fat. So they're curious, how does it get to be 1%, 2% skim milk after it leaves your farm?
Yeah, there are processing facilities that do that, and there's very specified machines that are able
Mhm,
to take some of that fat out of the milk,
mhm,
and you're taking it out so that you can get to the percentage that you want, but it is not unused. Companies such as Cabot,
mhm,
they are using that extra fat and things to make those really tasty yogurts, cheeses,
mm,
butters,
mhm.
so that you can have the little bit lower percentage fat milk, but then it's still used for other things. But there are
That's
very
cool.
sophisticated machines at those
Yeah.
processing facilities that do that for us.
Wow.
Yes.
Very
As well
cool.
as
That's
adding the
awesome.
flavoring like chocolate, strawberry, coffee milk.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, coffee milk. That's some of my favorite. That's a good
Hmm.
one. Oh, so you mentioned, the number of cows that you have on your farm, but we were curious, what does that mean to how many babies would you normally have, maybe per day or per year at the farm?
Oh, we probably average a couple of babies every day.
Wow.
Today, we haven't had any babies, but 2 days ago, we had five babies.
Oh my
One was a
goodness.
set of twins. So that was a pretty busy day for us. But like I said, today we haven't had any. So it averages out to a couple of babies every day.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Very cool. Let's see. This is a good question, right? So we've seen them kind of hanging out with each other. They're curious. Do you notice? The question is, are any of them better friends than others? Do you ever see them pal off with a heifer, or be buddy buddy with one more than the other?
definitely. Definitely. I think it's very similar to people in that we have, our good friends, we have our best friends. It's so yes, they do. We find, our calves, as you guys learned earlier in the year, our calves grow up in groups of 8. So it is very common throughout their life to see them still hanging out with 2 or 3 of the calves from their original group when they were just like a month or two old and they were just milk babies. They were still on milk. So
Oh.
I think they form those bonds very early.
Hmm.
One bond that we see is that generally is very strong is with twins. When we
Hmm.
have twins, of course, they are the same age, but they're always in the same hutch for the first couple days. Then they are always in the same group of 8 calves. Um,
Yeah.
we did a little post here a couple of weeks ago showing two twins, manicotti and macaroni, and
Oh.
they they love each other. If they're in a different group because they maybe have different due dates or they're in a different stage of their life, as soon
Hmm.
as they end up back in the same group, they are so happy. They lay next to each other. They come in our milking parlor by choice together.
Oh.
They are always within 1 or 2 cows of each other, no matter where they are. So
Huh.
for whatever reason, they are clearly bonded. We see that with
Yeah.
twins a lot here. But yes, these three adopted calves will most likely, as they go through the different barns, as they grow up, we will see them together fairly routinely because they are kind of bonded friends. They've spent a lot
Hmm.
of time together. So yeah, very good question, and absolutely yes.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. So another question, and if our camera lady doesn't mind hanging out with the one that's laying down for a little bit,
Yeah,
she's
let's go
just
see
not being
Fern. Maybe
social
she.
today.
Yeah, she was very social earlier. Now she's just
Yeah.
chilling. Hi, Fern.
Um,
How we
we
doing?
have, oh,
There
now
she
she's gonna get up, of course.
goes.
We
Good
have a question.
girl.
We were curious about, they always just seem so healthy. How do you keep them healthy? What are signs if you do see an animal get sick? Maybe what are those signs, and then how do you help them come back to health?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, these guys are very healthy. When the calves are born, they get their calfhood vaccinations. Some of the things that those vaccinations help to prevent are different types of pneumonias. And also different types of, as farmers, we call it scours, but humans would call it like diarrhea, and that's very dangerous for young humans as well as very dangerous for baby calves. So we give them vaccinations and different vitamins and minerals when they're born. to try to help prevent those things. But then as they go along throughout life, every few months, they get another booster or a different type of vaccination that will cover a different form of pneumonia. It will help prevent different any infections that they could get. Now, sometimes things happen just like people. I've got a little start to a cold coming on right now. My nose is a tiny bit runny. The back of my throat hurts a little bit. It's very similar for calves and cows. You can see their nose being a little bit runny, a little bit dirty looking. And that's a time where early on we would just give them extra vitamins and minerals to kind of help them. But if they were really sick and it was something that they couldn't just fight off very quickly, we would give them some type of a medicine to help them. We
Cool.
would keep track of that in their permanent history so that we know that they had that medicine, but we would of course help them like I would hope someone would help us. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, I
good
love
question.
that. I mean, you're always looking out for their well-being, right? You're always having eyes on them. You're always, you know your animals best, so you're going to notice those little things that might be really hard to
Yes.
see to an untrained eye, but
Yeah.
you know what you're looking for. And thankfully, our girls seem to be very happy and healthy, so that's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
We had a good question come in. It was curious about the herd in general. How much milk does the farm produce maybe in a day or a year? And we can maybe have them do the math if you know what it is per cow, and we can challenge them to figure that out too.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's a good idea. So per cow, we average right around 80 pounds per day per
Hmm,
cow.
okay.
Yep. And that's
All
milking them, of
right.
course, twice a day. So if you figure that 80 across the board, that'd be 40 in the morning and 40 in the afternoon. So yeah,
Sure.
that's a good idea. That maybe is after the live ends, some good
Yeah.
math that people could do.
Yeah. So that when they milk on average about 305 days because they're resting for
Yes.
60 days of the year.
Yep.
So if you can figure, and then how many milking cows again, just so they can figure that out for the whole
Around
herd?
450.
All right. So we've got
Yes.
450 cows at about 80 pounds a day for 305 days of the year. And I'd be curious to see if anyone can get that. How many pounds of milk
Hmm.
that would be in a year? That's incredible. Oh
Yeah, and
my goodness.
if you want to do some division, a gallon of milk is 8.6 pounds. So if you
Oh
want to
man.
divide that into gallons, which is how most of us think of milk,
Yeah.
then you can do that math as well.
Oh man, I might need a pen and paper now. So I'm gonna leave it up to you all to hopefully
Yes.
do your best and figure that mouth out. Oh my, and they are being real cute now, of course. Now as we get to the end
Yes.
here, now they're getting real cozy with us. Farmer Julie, this has been so much fun to chat, to go over some of these questions. You all are submitting some really great questions. Thank you so much. I just saw a cute comment that they just said Amelia is always picking her nose, and I just do you want to comment on that and just explain, because they definitely do, right? They definitely are sticking their tongue up their nose quite a bit.
Yes. Yep. If we have an itch, of course, we would use our fingers, right? If the inside of our nose itched, we would probably pick our nose with our fingers. We would itch anything on our body. But they don't have hands, of course, they just have feet. So their tongue does a lot of itching for them, cleaning for them.
Mhm.
Being very nosy, smelling things and licking things that they don't they don't understand and are trying to figure out, similar to like a dog.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you, Farmer Julie. We're going to start wrapping up here. We've had a couple people asking a little bit about you specifically, and I want to wrap up with that too. So, you know, what inspired you to want to be a dairy farmer? What's the best part about it? Do you ever have any challenging days? And, what's your why behind being a dairy farmer?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I love dairy farming. Are some days challenging? Oh, very, very challenging. But when we see these different two groups here, this is a lot of why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Because I can start and see a baby calf that was 90 pounds when she was born turn into one that's now 1,600 pounds and is healthy. Another part that I
Yeah.
really enjoy is things like this, is this Adopt a Cow program. Being a farmer, we don't get off the farm very much. We have to be here. We could have a baby calf born anytime. We could have a cow not feel maybe 100%. We don't get out a lot. This is a way that I love being able to kind of connect with you
Yeah.
all, and just kind of spread what we do, why we do it.
Mhm.
I love knowing that we make a nutritious product that feeds all of you, that not only is very, very healthy, but is something that everyone enjoys. So that's a big part of what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. Thank you so much for your dedication to the dairy industry and all that you do to provide wholesome and wholesome and healthy products. There we go. Got tongue tied. I know I would not do well without my cheese and ice cream and yogurt and milk. So I
Mm-mm.
would not have that without you. So thank you so much, Farmer Julie, for your dedication to your cows and to the dairy
Mm.
industry.
Yeah,
Is there
you're
anything
welcome.
else that you wanted to share with us today before we tune off?
I do a couple things. One,
Yeah.
we have some math now that we have sent everybody with to do, but I'm also going to add a little bit of geography for everybody because
Ooh.
most of the students and classrooms that I have are spread across New England states. But I have one classroom in particular from California, and they are
Oh.
in the Mojave Desert. So I want to say hello to Miss Kudermarsh
Oh.
and all of her students. And so they decided they wanted a New England farm because they wanted to learn what our life in New England was like and what our climate was like, not to have a California farm. And I really
Yeah.
respect that. So what I want to challenge all of the New England students to do is to do a little research. Where is the Mojave Desert?
Mm.
What is it like compared to like the weather today here in New England? So,
Yeah.
anyways, hi to you all. Thank you all for
Oh.
adopting a calf from us. And I do want to invite everybody. We do at the end of June this year an open farm day. This is a
Ooh. I don't know where she went. I apologize. I know she was about to start talking about her farm
face
day.
painting.
There we go.
Um, are we seeing it?
Yep, we're good
Good.
now. Go ahead.
Okay. You will get to meet all of your adopted calves. They will be in the same area. If you adopted a calf 2 years ago, you will see them that day. Farm tours, there's wagon rides to get you from your cars to the farm. It is a really fun day. I would love to meet so many of you in person that day. Um, so I would just like to personally invite you Saturday, June 27th to come. It really is free. You don't
Yeah.
pay to park, you don't pay to come, you don't pay for the food while you're here.
Wow.
So I would love it if so many of you could come and join us that day. Oh, look, they're all sleeping. I guess they're
Aw.
done too, huh? Cute.
I love it.
So yeah,
Oh my
that's what I've
gosh.
got. Thank you all so much. This has
Oh,
just been a great year. Yeah.
wow. Well, thank you so much. This visit has been absolutely amazing today. A huge thank you to you, Farmer Julie, for opening your barn doors and
Mhm.
letting us meet Amelia and Fern and Ginger, and of course, our adopted calves from 2 years ago. What a special treat. And then, of course, thank you all to the classrooms, to the teachers,
Mhm.
and the students for joining us. You guys were asking incredible questions and really just
Mhm.
bringing a lot of excitement to that chat. So, thank you. We hope you had a lot of fun learning about life on a farm and seeing how your adopted calves grow. If you love this experience, don't forget you can re-enroll starting May 1st at discoverdairy.com/adopt. And from all of us at Discover Dairy and McLaughlin Farm, thank you for spending your afternoon with us. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye bye now. See you, everybody.